Hello everyone, this is Optimus Prime, and this year is a very special one to me as I now get to celebrate my first official decade of being a Transformers fan. And I gotta say that the past 10 years of love that I've shared for this franchise has added so much to my life that I cannot express it properly through just words. Without this franchise, I would not be where I am now, and that's with all of you guys. 2023 was my biggest year when it came to my involvement in the Transformers community, and I just cannot believe that I'm living my dream of doing what I wanted to do. That 9-year-old me who was always fascinated with watching toy reviews on many different things, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Star Wars, and most of all, Transformers. I remember asking my mom to borrow her phone so I could do a review on my Combiner Wars Optimus Maximus. Yeah, that didn't go too well. No tripod, no desk to film on, no editing software, just my mom's phone, my hand, and my bed. And while my dreams of being a toy reviewer seemed a bit slim-chanced, the idea still fascinated me. And here I am, 10 years later, doing what that 9-year-old Link always wanted to do. Would he be proud? I sure hope so. Thinking about the fact that this franchise is turning 40 the same year I'm celebrating 10 years of my involvement in it is just perfection. But if it wasn't for one thing that helped boost my interest in this franchise, the character that most of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, the Boss Bot.
The legendary warrior of Cybertron.
Leader of the Autobots. My name is Optimus Prime!
And yes, this isn't the first time I've talked about him on this channel. I've talked about him many a time. But if it weren't for him, this franchise would be a lowly, empty husk. Optimus Prime was the one to breathe life into this franchise. His wisdom, his courage, and his many sacrifices have taught us so much about what it means to truly be a leader. Now, the incarnation we're going to be talking about today is one that at first glance seems a bit different from the Primes we were used to seeing. And that, my friends, would be the Transformers animated Optimus Prime. While at first he may seem out of touch from his previous counterparts,
You promised you wouldn't laugh! Sorry.
throughout the series, we see him grow and progress into that boss bot we all know and love. The leader, who at times may be a bit stern with his teammates, still trusts that they are capable of doing the right thing for the greater good. He may have his ups and downs with his fellow superiors, but he always does what he can to stick to his own values even when others try to bring him down. His spirit simply keeps him from quitting, and even though at times he may not feel worthy of certain things, he still realizes that he is destined for something good. Of course, not like this guy.
I knew I was destined for great things!
And the figure we're taking a look at today captures the look and spirit of this character and his legacy. But without further ado, here is the Transformers Legacy United Animated Universe,
Optimus Prime. Bring it on!
Now, when it comes to the design for this figure, it's one that has seen a bit of controversy throughout the fandom, mainly due to its more G1 stylized look compared to his actual, more wavy look in the animated series. However, for me personally, it's one that I don't necessarily mind. Even if it's not 100% animated accurate, you can still look at it and tell it's animated Optimus Prime. And that's all that really matters to me when looking at it. We have your classic red and blue colors with hints of gray and silver detail, the areas of black in the abdomen section, and the yellow highlights on the crotch and chest for the headlights. Even if he doesn't have that look of curvature, he makes up for it in how he can be positioned with the classic knees bent back look. And when it comes to the detail, we get some extra stuff here within the sculpt, extra panel lines, venting detail on the legs, and it all looks great. Something that I love is that we actually get black clear plastic inserts on the inside of the chest, and it looks amazing. At first glance, I thought it was just black painted over the red chest, but this one really took me by surprise. One thing that really brings this guy to life is his head sculpt. While it has its own look compared to his appearance in the series, it still captures that animated look and feel, with the dark blue for the helmet, light blue for the face, as well as the silver and black frames that make him look like he's a drawing that came to life. Just like on the Bumblebee figure. Also, talking about the Bumblebee figure real quick, I did want to bring up something that I did discover from watching that Toy Guys review on it. So first thing is that you can actually untab the chest section, and utilizing the transformation of the basically crotch going down put that back, and you have an ab crunch that actually works, so that is something that's really cool. Another thing that toy guy did actually tell me was that you do kind of have to squeeze everything together in the vehicle mode. So I guess I just wasn't squeezing hard enough. So that is what I guess you would call a skill issue on my part. But yeah, so it's not as bad as I was kind of talking about in my video. There's just certain things that it's still not ideal, but it's passable. So I guess I was a little too harsh on my review of it, but it's still it's pretty good. It's not too bad. But one thing that matters to me a lot more is the quality and overall playability of the figure itself, and oh man, does it deliver. The overall feel of this figure is just simply solid. I can handle this thing to my heart's content without the fear of it cracking or breaking, and that's all I want to see. He feels solid, most of the joints feel tight. Although this one knee is a bit loose, it isn't terrible. And his articulation really blew me away, but it does have a few drawbacks, however they are manageable. The head is on a ball joint and the neck is on a hinge joint, so he has lots of range. Upward and downward is particularly unlimited, tilting motion, and a full 360 rotation. With the arms, they are able to move outward and inward, rotate all the way around, and at first this mushroom peg was having a locking issue, but I was able to bypass it by working it a bit. Bicep swivel, double jointed bend at the elbow, and the wrist is on a ball joint, but it only has enough range to simply swivel. The waist can rotate a full 360, the legs can kick forward and back, as well as move out, almost all the way to the side. Swivel at the thigh, an outstanding bend at the knee. The ankle range here is some of the best I've seen. We get an incredible pivot, and if you untab and extend the ankle, you can get it to bend forward and back, which is something that we rarely get to see on Transformers figures. With all of his articulation, his posability is incredibly dynamic, and you have lots of options here. Prime does come with the axe that is featured in the series, and while the handle is a bit different, the overall head of the axe just screams animated with the base red, split silver segments, and amazing looking clear blue. There is also a port at the end that is compatible with the War for Cybertron blast effects. The handle can extend, and make sure you extend it all the way because you will hear and feel a click. Same thing goes with retracting the handle. Of course, he can hold it, and you can get him to hold it with both hands, which can be a tad finicky, but once it's in there, he's ready to go. One thing that is a bit annoying is that the portion he doesn't hold is a bit loose and tends to spin when being handled, so this is why I recommend pulling on the handle till the top of his fist is applying friction. Now it's not going anywhere. You can store the axe on the back of the figure with this port, and boom! You also get this siren piece, which is detachable and can be used as a shield, but it doesn't really work all that well. But as we come to the end of the robot mode portion, I believe it is time to move on to the transformation. And looking at the vehicle mode, I must say that it captures the look of the futuristic fire truck cab to almost perfection, at least for what it is. They still managed to include the wavy physique that his truck mode had in the show, and it looks genuinely amazing. One thing that I think is absolutely brilliant on Hasbro's part is in the show, Optimus only has 4 wheels, but the issue is that the wheels are pushed back, and on a real truck, all of its weight up front wouldn't have anything to sit on, so it would just kind of fall over. So what they did here was they added another set of wheels but hid them underneath his bumper area to make it look like there were only 4. Definitely a cool addition there. All of the colors from the bot mode of course transition into the vehicle mode very nicely, and it looks clean and streamlined, and I love the look of the siren up top. One gripe I have with the build is just the ginormous feet sticking out at the back, but it's passable. However, what they are there for is that you can store his axe on the back. There are ports at the bottom of the feet, and all you gotta do is just pop it on there. And there's your weapon storage. Not the most ideal, but at least the option is there. He rolls very well, and he's just nice and compact. Overall, this figure is a very well made one, and the issues I have with him are minimal at best. He looks great, feels great, poses great, and the transformation is a lot of fun. He looks great with the other Legacy animated figures, and at a $35 price point, he does not disappoint. And I can't wait for more to come. I heard we may get a Motormaster, and I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see a Toxitron repaint as a reference to that BotCon exclusive figure. Any other chance I can get to retrieve another variation of this mold, I will happily take it, and in itself, I highly recommend it. You know what else I recommend? Transformers Animated. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend doing so. It's available for free on Tubi with ads, and it has to be my second favorite Transformers series right next to Transformers Prime. So go check it out, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!
闇の彼方静寂を引き裂き星の眠りを呼び起こすのはどいつだ